What's good, everyone? How y'all doing today? If y'all don't know who I am at this point, I'm Mark. If y'all haven't seen any of my other videos, make sure to go ahead and check them out. This one is going to be a tiny bit shorter, as you know, I got things to do today. However, I do plan on doing 2 videos today. I do plan on it. If I can't, I can't. However, I'm going to do everything I can to get 2 videos out for y'all today. I feel like I've been lacking a little bit. I feel like y'all miss me. So the topic on this video is going to be plus P's. Are they worth it? When I say plus P's, I'm specifically talking about plus P hollows. Now, I will talk about how there are plus P FMJs, I'll get into all that in a minute. But the main reason why I'm generally talking about plus P hollows is because, and this is a 124 grain Hornady American gun, Hornady American Gunner plus P. And then we're also going to be comparing it with a 115 grain Hornady Critical Defense. That's not a plus P. All right, so let's just start it off normally, right? Just right away. Plus P's, what they essentially are, and this is a dumb way of saying it. I'm going to go more into detail, in a second. But the dumb way of describing them would be they're higher pressured, so they pack more of a punch. Now, whether it's really worth it is a question that I'm going to be answering today. They are more expensive than your typical hollow points. For example, I believe I spent $30 total for a box of these, like including tax and everything. And these were like 27 bucks for the box. So I mean, not a big difference, but if you do like to buy ammo in bulk, it probably will start to be a big difference, of course. And if y'all are asking what I have with me right now, I got my G2C back from Adam. I had to let him use it for the review, of course. By the way, Adam, thank you once again for letting me use the Glock 22 for the review, bro. Shouts out to you. Go ahead and check out Adam's channel. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit the share button, all that shit over there. You know what I mean? If y'all haven't done that already, y'all missing out, man. Make some good videos. I would say top quality videos. Like, here I am, top quality, because of course I'm just the best. You know what I mean? I'm clearly just the best, obviously. I'm up here, top quality, right here with me, top quality standard. All right. Oh, and of course, if you haven't checked out the podcast channel, go ahead and do that. Centerfire Podcast. Just me and Adam talking about a bunch of different things. But back to the topic at hand. All right. So, as I mentioned before, if you do buy in bulk, yes, it probably will start to become a more noticeable difference in price. However, I don't buy hollows in bulk, at least. You know what I mean? I just make sure I just like to make sure that my mags would be filled, and then I'll have like a spare box, for when Ron DeSantis passes that constitutional carry bill. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting, man. Look, I get it. There's nothing he can do about it until it hits his desk. And he already said when it hits his desk, he's signing it into law immediately. But bro, how the fuck do we speed it up getting to his desk? That's the real question. I'm going to look into that later because I want us to sit there and start writing letters to whoever we need to get that shit handled. All right. Now, and by the way, if you're wondering, and I know my brain's a little scattered here, y'all got to understand I've been doing shit since I woke up, and I failed in my mission to stay away from coffee. I failed, so yeah, my brain's a little everywhere. You may be wondering why I'm talking about plus P hollows, compared to normal hollows instead of just like plus P FMJs or, for example, 9mm NATOs. And if y'all are wondering what I mean by that, any NATO round is standard to a plus P essentially. Another example of a higher pressured round that, it's the same size. It's same size bullet, if I'm not mistaken, same diameter. I know that for a fact. Pretty much everything's the same. Is the 5.56 to the 2.23. You see what I mean? 5.56 has much more pressure than a 2.23 does. But so we're gonna sit here and just do a quick pros and cons of each. As I mentioned before, these can be a bit cheaper than these. All right, you don't have to get these particular ones if y'all want to. However, I just like the critical defenses, so I got them. All right. Now with your normal, for example, with your Hornady critical defense 9mm, excuse me, It runs at about, here I had to write it down here because I'm terrible at remembering numbers. Uh, Running at about 1140 feet per second. Of course, that changes with distance, of course. And the foot pounds is about 332. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. And these things are phenomenal carry ammo, home defense ammo. They're just, great. All right. Now, with these plus Ps right here, these are, as I mentioned before, these are 124 grain Hornady American Gunner plus Ps. The It's about 1175 feet per second. So that's definitely, it's about 35 feet per second more than, the Hornady critical defense. And then we're looking at about 380 foot pounds. All right. That's almost 50, it's almost 50 pounds more, 50 foot pounds more. So it's, there definitely is a difference to it. All right. And I will be getting into plus P pluses in a little bit too. The best way I can, because I don't have any plus P pluses on me, the best way I can really describe a plus P plus, all right. And I would go into the velocity chart like I did with these two. However, I don't have any on me to sit there and just pick one. Uh, so plus P pluses for 9 mil, I would honestly compare it to 40. Now, here's something that not a lot of people will, like to bring up, but higher pressured rounds will shorten the lifespan of your gun. So if you are only, for example, training with, the 9 millimeter NATOs, right? You're just training with shit like that, where it's the standard is a higher pressure. You're going to seriously, lower the lifespan of your gun. Now, understand if you're just the average shooter who, doesn't go shooting, but maybe once a month, you only get like 100 rounds, 200 rounds. I can't 100% say if you'll have to worry about it. I doubt it. But I would not consistently run any plus pressured, any higher pressured. I mean, plus P. That's what the P is for, is pressure. But any higher pressured rounds, I wouldn't consistently run those through my firearm. I would use it for self defense, home defense, sure, But the chances of you having to consistently run those through your firearm for self defense or home defense are pretty low. And if it does happen, you are just one unlucky fella or lady. Who knows? I don't know who. I mean, no, I can tell you right now, it's basically just mainly men who watch my channel. I know that. But my whole point that I'm getting at is now that those I went through a couple of pros and cons. Jesus. I went through a couple of pros and cons about the plus piece. I went through a couple of pros and cons about your standard. They're cheaper. They do the damage you need them to do. These definitely do have more of a punch, as I said before, as I just read off to you on the velocity chart. However, if you think, oh yeah, well, that 35 feet per second, and that 48 foot pounds, that's super important to me. Cool. If you want to do that, go ahead. It is going to cost you more. It's going to shorten the lifespan of your gun, especially if you're consistently running plus P ammo through it. All right. Now, as I mentioned before, 9 millimeter NATO, and I'm trying to think of some other examples too. However, any NATO standard round is standard to a plus P. Plain and simple. That's the best way to describe it. You know what I mean? Now, as far as what I personally would choose to carry with, or even, if I were to carry it or to have as home defense, either or will do the job. Without a doubt, either or will do the job. It just depends on, my mood. Like, for example, I have one of my SD9VE mags has, it's filled with SIG V Crown hollows, your standard SIG V Crown JHPs, right? However, I got in my other one, it's just strictly Hornady critical defenses. In my G2C, I have here, look, you can see for yourself, plus P on top, critical defense, plus P, critical defense. Oops, sorry, here, let me show you. Plus P, critical defense, two more. See what I mean? So I'm not impartial to either. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that either is trash or that you need to have plus P's in your gun or else it's just not going to do any damage, because that's just not the truth. All right, that is not the truth at all. All right. The simple matter of fact is that a plus P will do its job. A standard hollow will do its job. All right. Now, plus P plus is it's kind of funny because Adam just did a video about the 40 Smith and Wesson caliber, the history on it, all that. If y'all haven't seen that, go and check it out. It was a fire video. Y'all would fuck with it. I was talking to him one day. I'm like, bro, do you think they make plus P plus 40s? He's like, dude, at that point, why wouldn't it just be a 10 mil? And I'm like, yeah, it's a good argument, And we look it up. Of course, one company we can find, I think it was Buffalo Boar or some shit like that is what it was called. Some shit. They made these fucking it's just essentially fucking plus P pluses that you would use for like hunting or some shit if you wanted to carry, your normal pistol instead of like a specific 10 mil or something, or any higher. So we were sitting there joking around about that. I'm like, damn. But a plus P plus 9 mil, I would definitely compare to your standard 40. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, if your firearm is not able to handle plus Ps, then it will usually tell you in the manual. That is something that not a lot of people like to look through. It will usually tell you in the manual whether it is capable of handling a plus P, plus P plus. Glocks can handle plus P plus. I know that for a fact. All right, that is plain and simple. If I'm not mistaken, the G2C can handle plus P plus as well. SD9VE cannot. It can take plus P, just not plus P plus. And it doesn't say that particularly in the manual. It just says that it doesn't take plus P plus. So didn't say anything about plus P. My LCP, I'm actually not too sure on. I have to do some looking into that. I've not gone out of my way to get any plus P 380s. Although that would be a good idea now that I'm thinking about it. That gun is so damn small. Whatever. I'm just going off on a rant. All right. Long story short is that if you want to, if it makes you feel that much more safe, go ahead. Get a plus P. Get a plus P plus if you want. All right. That's all on you. All right. Now understand with more pressure, if the hollow doesn't, act as a hollow, you have a higher chance of over penetration hitting somebody else, or something you don't want to. You know what I mean? So I would be careful of that. However, I don't see an issue with carrying plus Ps. I don't see an issue with using it for home defense. I don't see an issue with any of that. They do, tend to run you a bit more money though. They definitely do. You know what I mean? That's just something that a lot of people got to get used to and understand. Now, now the question of whether you would say, okay, well at that point, if I were to get plus Ps and 9 mil, would I just get a 40? No, I wouldn't say so. If all you were gonna use for carry or home defense were plus P 9 mils, you don't need a fucking 40, not by any standard. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to explain because I know I was bringing up how a plus P plus a 9 mil I would compare to a 40, but overall you don't need to have you don't need to have a plus P plus a standard 9 mil hollow will do the job without an issue. Will do the job no issue at fucking all. All right. However, if these make you feel better, get them. They're just going to be more expensive. They're going to shorten the lifespan of your gun if you're running them through the gun consistently. You know what I mean? Other than that, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover on this video. Uh, Remember, if y'all haven't checked out Adam's personal channel, go ahead and check that out. Make sure to give his videos a thumbs up. Give them some views. Go ahead and subscribe to him. If y'all haven't checked out the podcast channel yet, go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna put not the link to both, but I'm gonna tag both channels in the description so that way y'all can just click on it, go right to the channel. You know what I mean? Other than that, I hope y'all are staying safe. I hope y'all are having a happy holidays. We're close to a new year. Let's see how this next one goes. Peace.